The call came on a Tuesday evening while I was standing at the kitchen sink. My youngest was building something on the floor with mismatched plastic blocks. My daughter was arguing with the oven timer because she thought it was beeping too aggressively. The house sounded like what it always sounded like in December: movement, noise, unfinished things. My phone buzzed on the counter. My mother's name. I wiped my hands on a towel and answered. Her voice had that careful softness she used when she believed she was being reasonable. "We've been talking about Christmas," she said. That was the first signal. Normal conversations started with weather or grocery complaints. Conversations that started like this meant a decision had already been made somewhere else. I leaned against the counter and watched my youngest knock his tower over. "And," I said, "well, your brother's girlfriend is coming this year." I already knew that. My brother had mentioned her twice in the past month. Both times with a tone that suggested the rest of us should be impressed. "She comes from a very structured family," my mother continued. "They're very refined people." I said nothing. My mother filled silence the way people do when they think they're explaining something obvious. "She's not used to a lot of chaos." My daughter walked past me at that moment holding a burnt cookie like evidence of a crime. "Dad," she said, "this one is definitely illegal." I muted the phone for 2 seconds. "We'll appeal the verdict," I told her. She nodded seriously and left. I unmuted the call. My mother cleared her throat. "So we thought maybe this year it would be better if we kept the gathering a little quieter." There it was. I waited. "You know how energetic the kids can be," she added gently. "And we just want her first Christmas with the family to feel calm." I looked around my kitchen. Paper snowflakes taped unevenly to cabinets. Half-decorated gingerbread cookies. A toy dinosaur wearing a Santa hat. Chaos, apparently. "So," I said, "we thought it might be best if you celebrated at home this year." She said it with the calm certainty of someone presenting a compromise that had already been finalized. I didn't argue. That part surprised her. She said, "Well, good. I hope it goes well," I replied, and I hung up. The house didn't feel different afterward. That was the strange part. I expected anger or something heavier. But mostly I just felt a familiar quietness settle in, like slipping into an old coat that already knew your shape. My brother had always been the polished one. I had always been the unpredictable one. It wasn't said directly very often. It just existed in the way conversations moved around us. School assemblies where his achievements got longer applause. Family dinners where my choices were explained with careful optimism. He's figuring things out. He's taking a different path. Which was a polite way of saying not the right one. 2. Christmas morning arrived quietly. The kids woke up too early. We opened presents in pajamas and made pancakes that came out uneven and slightly burnt. Nobody mentioned my parents, not once. The day moved naturally, which made the absence feel smaller than I expected. By afternoon we were watching an old movie while the kids built forts out of couch cushions. Then someone knocked on the door. At first I thought it was a delivery. But when I opened the curtain slightly, I saw 3 cars parked outside. My parents, my brother, and a woman I assumed was the girlfriend. For a moment I considered not answering. But my daughter had already reached the door. "Visitors," she announced. So I opened it. My mother stepped forward immediately, holding a pie like it was a peace offering. "We thought we'd stop by," she said quickly. Behind her, my brother looked irritated. Like this visit hadn't been his idea. The girlfriend stood slightly apart from them. She looked composed, observant. The kind of person who notices details before speaking. "Come in," I said. They stepped into the house. My youngest immediately offered someone a cookie shaped like a crooked star. The girlfriend took it with polite curiosity. The room settled into a strange kind of stillness. My parents looked around carefully, as if checking whether the environment matched the description they had already accepted. Quiet children. Holiday decorations. Nothing particularly chaotic. Then the girlfriend looked directly at me. Then at my brother. Then back at me again. Her brow furrowed slightly. "Sorry," she said slowly. She pointed gently toward my brother. "Is he your brother?" The room stopped. My brother laughed awkwardly. "Yeah," he said. She hesitated. "Well, She looked around again. "I thought." She stopped herself. My mother stepped in quickly. "Oh, we might have explained things poorly earlier," she said. But the girlfriend wasn't looking at her. She was looking at the house. The kids. Me. "I was told you two didn't spend much time together," she said carefully. My brother shifted uncomfortably. "And that gatherings here tend to get out of control." My daughter walked through the room carrying a plate of cookies like a server in a small cafe. "Would you like one?" she asked the girlfriend. The girlfriend accepted one automatically. Then she looked back at my brother again. Her confusion was quiet but unmistakable. "I don't understand," she said. Nobody answered immediately. My parents began talking at the same time, explaining things that didn't quite fit together. But the moment had already changed. Someone outside the family structure was seeing the dynamic without the years of built-in assumptions, and it didn't make sense to her. Eventually my brother muttered something about miscommunication. The visit lasted about an hour. No arguments, no confrontation. Just a strange, careful politeness. When they finally left, the girlfriend lingered at the doorway. She looked at me like someone who had just realized a story had been told incorrectly. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "For what?" I asked. "For believing things without seeing them first." Then she followed the others outside. The house felt the same once the cars drove away. The kids returned to their blanket fort. Someone turned the movie back on. I stood in the doorway for a moment, listening to the quiet. My parents might never rethink the roles they'd assigned us. My brother probably wouldn't either. But somewhere outside that structure now, someone had noticed the difference between the story and the reality. And that small shift felt strangely steady. Not victory. Just clarity.